this whole fear thing that everybody, goes through. Well, every second Tuesday, I go to the women's shelter and I speak to them. Me and this other lady from our church, we do it on different days in the month. So anyway, today was my day, and I hadn't really for sure thought about what I was going to speak on, because I hadn't been in a couple of months due to illness and yada yada. Anyway, so Bethany had kind of reached out to me and was just like, what's going on? And so it's fear. That's what it is. And so the Lord, that's what you're going to speak on. You're going to go speak to them, and you're going to go talk about it, and you're going to say, know that we're going to get over it. And so that's what I did. I looked up some verses. I spoke on it, and, I just kind of told them, this is where I'm at. And I even told them about me being fearful of taking that extra step in doing this business because of me being in my way. And then on the way home, I'm not even kidding you, every single song that came on was about conquering your fear. Every single one, from the time that I left to the time that I went in Berkshire's. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to do what Bethany had asked. And I went on and I posted a live on my page, and I just put myself out there and said, you know what? God's bigger than this. He's got it. And I did it.
Yes.
Yay.
I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Lindsay, toot your horn.
Well, it's funny because I had sat down at work and I mapped out some subject matter that I wanted to talk about, and I was going to do a live every day. And so I got home and I took CJ for a walk because he had a lot of energy. So we both burned some energy, let's say it that way. And I was like, oh, I really don't feel like getting on and talking and doing a live. Blech. But I watched Mandy's because I just happened to be checking Facebook and noticed that she did a live. So I watched it and I was like, well, if Mandy's going to do it, I'm going to do it. She inspired me to do it. So I guess it's not so much about me tooting my horn, but it's a testimony to staying engaged and watching what other people are doing, because their action is going to inspire action in you. So if you have one of those days where you don't feel like doing anything, go check out Bethany's page or somebody else's page on this team, or Mark is always a great person to go look at, Mark or Pam, and you'll always get inspired all over again, because motivation is fleeting. It comes and it goes. So the success is in the trenches when you are working your business when you don't feel like it, even regardless of the fear, because to me it's not so much about fear anymore as it is just the pure tenacity of it, especially after doing it for almost 4 years. I mean, it kind of gets old and stagnant sometimes, so you have to be constantly infusing yourself with other people's activities, and so that will help you keep going.
Yes. More on that shortly. Shoal, toot your horn, sister. And no cop-out answers either. Toot your horn.
I don't know anything business-wise that I did that was outstanding.
I didn't ask business-wise. I said, what are you proud of today?
Didn't yell at my children.
There you go.
Get drunk.
Touchdown!
I haven't had any alcohol yet today.
Extra points.
Gold star.
Like, seriously.
Joe's like, you just got home.
You haven't had time to break out the bottle yet.
There's a glass of wine in the fridge.
I see that.
He's like, why did I see that?
Some days not yelling at your kids is all we've got.
Well, honestly, though, that is a big thing, because like I've been so like nonstop all the time, and I'm so stressed out a lot. And so getting to have like, so whenever I am around the kids, I'm just tired and exhausted, and so any little thing just, so I've been really trying lately to, get down on their level and calm down whenever they're being crazy. So yeah. And things have been a lot better the last couple days. So, yay.
Some days that's all you have. And you have to be proud of those days. Okay, so I don't necessarily have anything training wise that I feel like is pressing. I want to sort of tell you guys what I'm doing. I reached out to Pam the other day. I think you guys all knew that. And we had an awesome conversation. And then like just so many things that she said were like a wake-up call to me. First of all, I must confess, I still have not managed to get out of bed at 5 a.m. And I'm pissed about it. Like, I'm livid about it. So tomorrow it happens. Somebody I'm going to find and I'm going to message them at 5:06. And if they don't get a message by 5:06, then I owe them something. Like, that's just what it's going to have to come down to. It's going to have to hurt. And it's going to have to hurt. So anyway, that's where I'm at because, like I mentioned before, I'm at the point where I cannot squeeze any more out of my day. It's going to have to come before the day starts to free up even just an hour. But actually getting up at 5 will free up like an hour and a half because right now if I get up at like 6:15, I can't really do anything until I get back from school drop off, which happens about 7:30, 7:45. I may not get back till 8. So I usually can't get my day started till after 8, and that's just unacceptable. And so getting up at 5 will buy me a lot of time. And so I'm really, really working on making that happen because as much as I hate to think about that lost sleep, I really, really hate to think about the lost paychecks that I'm just watching float away. Like I'm finally to that point. Done. Okay. And so I did this exercise. I'm reading Without Rival. I think I told you guys this a while back by Lisa Bevere. And there's an exercise in it in the beginning where, well, let me first tell you the premise of the book, if we haven't gone over this much, is that you are without rival in the heart of God. There is no one he loves exactly the same as he loves you. And so you have no competition. There is no one on your level for the love of the Father. We are all loved the same as an amount, but we are not all loved the same ways. Jacinda, you are loved in a totally unique way from the way he loves me. And it's totally different from the way he loves Ashley and Mandy and Abby and Lindsay. We're all loved completely uniquely and 100% perfectly and wholly, 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 just as we are. You are perfectly loved as you are. You don't have to earn a seat at somebody's table because you're royalty and you're already seated at the banquet of the Father. Like, you're already there. And so that was this eye-opening thing to me because I spent a lot of time trying to promote back when I was trying to go triple so I could earn a seat at someone's table. I felt like I didn't belong unless I was the first or the best. And so being able to release myself from that has been just amazing. But who you are carries with you the revelation of what you can be. And that was a really eye-opening phrase for me. Like, seasons come and go. Life is hard. Sometimes it's easier. Sometimes it's really sucky. But through all of that, we have to make sure that we don't lose who we are in the struggle. And so she has you do like, I love this paragraph. It says, you don't have to look at what you've done or even what you've been through. You don't describe yourself by what you do, and you don't need to reference your relationship status. You're not single, divorced, married, or dating. This is not Facebook. This isn't for me. It's not for anybody else. This exercise is to help you know who you are. And she goes on to, she says that the Creator has unique designations for each of us, meaning the way he sees you and what gifts you're going to act in are completely different from someone else's gifts that they're going to act in. And when we don't know who we are, and we don't proudly be who we are, and we don't express our true created self, we're giving others permission to disrespect us. And that's giving others permission to disrespect God's creation. And man was God's greatest creation. We were created in his image. And so not being who you truly are is disrespecting what God created you to be. And I spent too many years wasted thinking, how can I be what other people want me to be? And so all of this was sort of new, but she has you do this exercise where you pick up a pen and a piece of paper, you close your eyes, and you ask the Father to whisper his unique designations over you. Don't be afraid that you're making up words of love and value. These words are really how he sees you. Be still for a moment and just know. And then write down 3 of the words or phrases that he gives you. And we're not going to do it now because I want you to be able to feel unpressured, and I want you to be able to feel relaxed, because this was a really stressful exercise for me, because I was terrified of that he wasn't going to speak. I was terrified that I was going to sit here and he wasn't going to say anything. And then B, I was scared that whatever words came into my head were going to be what I thought I was and not what he thinks I am. And so when I prayed to do this, I prayed that the Lord just clear my head and that he only allow the words to come to mind that he wanted me to know. And this has been one of the most exciting tasks that I have done in such a long time, because now that I recognize what my designations are under him and in his love, like how he sees me, I'm making a concerted effort to be acting within those designations and gifts. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Like my words. What, Lindsay?
You can be free to be who you are.
Yes.
Instead of having to figure out something else to be.
Right. And so my words, one of my words was that I'm a speaker and that this is my gift. And so when I say all that to get to this, when there were some triples and presidentials on one of the VIP walls that were really struggling, I felt the Lord nudge me, like, you need to lead a Zoom and speak to them because they are currently where you've been. And they needed somebody to help them climb out of the pit. And I lived in a pit for 2 years. And I was super intimidated, I'm not going to lie, because for a long time, I haven't felt like I was worthy of the title Triple Diamond. And just like Pam told me the other day on the call, no matter what rank you are paid as, your highest paid rank in this company is what the company sees you as. They're not going to ever take that away. So you need to stand in that and know that you did what it took to get there. And just because everything else isn't flushing out right now like it's supposed to, it doesn't mean anything against it. It doesn't say anything about who you are as a person. Does that make sense? And that I needed to stand in the fact that I am not trying to get back to triple. I am a triple diamond going presidential, and I'm a triple diamond going ambassador. That's where I am. And so you guys are distributors going ruby or diamond. You are rubies going emerald and diamond. You are going double and you are going triple. You're not trying to get back to anything, because that mental picture will cause you to claw and grasp and feel desperate. So anyway, I put myself out there and I was like, ladies, you are where I have been, and I am willing to do a Zoom with you guys. I can't promise that it's going to be anything amazing, but I'm willing to try. And so I stepped into my gift of speaking and motivating and just trying to love on them and speak to their hearts. And I spent an hour with these women, and I came away from that so on fire. Like, I was lit up about what we're doing, and nothing changed except I spent the hour, combated my fear, and acted within my gift. Okay. And so I tell you that to encourage you to do this exercise. Really trust that he's going to give you those words, your designations, and then look for ways you can act in those gifts and just be who it is that he's saying you are. Whatever those are, you can't go wrong. Because when we're acting within our gifts, we are grasping completely who it is that we're supposed to be. And when we are who we are supposed to be, who you are frames everything you do. Everything. And so if there's a discrepancy in perception of who you are, like who I perceive I am and who I am, if there's a discrepancy, you are going to act on perception. And typically our perception is that we are less worthy or less capable or just less than what we actually are. And that perception is what's going to keep you in a hole for as long as you will continue to allow it. And I stayed there for a very long time. Let's see. So, there's a fly in here and he's so distracting. It's awful. So God wants to redeem, restore, and change your identity so that there is no incident, no season, and no name from your past left to define you. If we are living in the definition of our past, we're not ever going to move forward. So I want to encourage you guys, act within your gifts and go forward. Okay? What are we currently struggling with right now that we can strategize on? I mean, you guys all know steps to success. You know blitzing. So I don't want to just blab random stuff. I want to deal with your specific issues.
Ha, do you hear the train?
Yes, I was like, what's happening right now?
My window's opened and we have a train that runs through here and blares its horn. Sorry, was somebody else talking?
No, you're fine. The train just scared me.
Sorry, it's obnoxious. For me, like, I'm getting better about it, but like getting up, getting started, know where to start in the morning, and like sticking with it. Because I stay at home with my kids, so like it's very easy to get distracted and get consumed in like what I'm doing with them, and just like, I don't know.
Okay, before you go to bed, have a list of what you need to get accomplished the next day.
Okay.
That's key. And I didn't learn this tip until somewhat recently. I didn't learn it when I had littles. And if I had, life probably would have been way different. And even now, because I do this full time, I feel like I have, hold on. My son's being a smart, you know what? So, even now I struggle with feeling like I have all day to get stuff done because I don't do anything else. This is my full-time job. And so I wake up and I like to enjoy my bulletproof coffee, sitting on the couch and in my pajamas, because that's like my time. And I don't wake up fast. I'm a slow waker upper. And so I love this. And then, I'll get to the kitchen later. And then before I know it, I've flipped through some random training videos, maybe messaged 2 or 3 people, forgot to eat, didn't get up to pee. It's now 3:30 and I'm late going to get my kids. I didn't discuss dinner. I didn't clean the kitchen. I didn't do anything because I my way through the day. I felt like I was being productive, but I didn't really get anything done. And so after that OTOM yesterday with Jessica Edison, who's a presidential, she mentioned something where, and I've heard this 1,000 times, 1,000 times. Back when I went triple, one of the girls that went emerald that helped me get there did this, but somehow it didn't register then. And she's gone now. She's not even here anymore. But Jessica printed her Facebook friends list, and she keeps it on a clipboard that she takes with her everywhere she goes. And when she's pushing for promotion, she's going through as many pages on that clipboard as she can get through in a day, usually between 50 and 60, 70 interactions with these people. And all that is being intentional by working through a list, making sure you get every single person in your friends list. And she's not necessarily messaging all of them to join her team or to be a customer. She's just trying to create those relationships. When she's not pushing for promotion, she goes through at least 20 names a day just to interact. Okay. And so last night, something struck a chord with me. Like, there's no reason why I can't be an ambassador diamond. I know how to build rubies. I've helped build a whole lot of rubies. Like, I'm a triple diamond. That's a whole lot of rubies. Granted, I mean, they weren't all my effort, but I've coached and I know how. And so that in itself should tell me that there's no reason that I cannot go ambassador diamond. And so something clicked last night at the OTOM. That's why you get to events. If you have not been to an event, you have got to get there, because you're going to hear something that your sponsor has said 1,000,000 times, but you're going to hear it in a little bit different way. And you're going to go, why didn't I think of that? But this clipboard list idea. And so I went to bed last night thinking, okay, this is what I've got to do. This is my day. I'm waking up at this time. This is when my coffee happens. This is when my devotional happens. Get the kids to school by this time. I'm home, change my clothes, fasted cardio, work on printing my Facebook list, because that's going to take forever to download. So I've got to get it started. I've got to go to the store. I've got to meal prep. And I had it all laid out, and I got crap done today, y'all. Like, I was on it. And I even had the hour to spend lunch with Brian, and I still got stuff done because I went to bed the night before knowing what I needed to accomplish during the day. Okay. If you're home all day and have no other job except for a little, our goal needs to be like 2 power hours worth of activity somewhere during the day. And Jessica said that's how she's built. You've got to do power hours and then allow yourself to get up from the computer and go take care of something else you need to do. Even if you can't do the hour and you're doing a 15-minute block and then you have to go do something, you've got to come back and do the next 15 minutes. Then allow yourself to get up, and then you've got to come back. When I do those, like, the house is a mess right now, and the kids, Andrew's party is happening this weekend, so he's having friends over. I don't have time to clean my house this week, but I refuse to pay somebody to come do it. And so my power hours, are going to be like 15 or 30 minutes. and then I've got to get up for 15 minutes and I've got to go clean something. Set a timer, do what I can, come back and work. Because I'm not willing to take a whole day and just clean, because I've got people to talk to, because we are already 9 days into the month. Like, and we've had one enrollment on the entire team. We've had one, and we're on day 9. And I haven't had any. And so I'm right there with you guys. I have not had a single enrollment this month. And I only had 2 last month. And so I'm definitely not leading by example in results. I mean, I'm putting in the effort, but it's just not coming. But it's time to double down those efforts and to make something happen. What was happening in our businesses when things were growing? What were we doing? For me, it was parties, parties, parties. So this is why we've brought back these Tuesday night parties. Last week, only 1 potential showed up. And other than that, it was me, Lindsay, and Laquita. And we had 1 potential. This week, we should have a couple more. I've already had people asking me about it. And so doing them every week, they're going to catch up. Abby is partying like a crazy person. And she sold a whole bunch of wraps last week when she partied, or maybe that was the week before. But you've got to figure out what you're good at and do mostly that, and add in the other activities and power hours around your day. We just fell over. So what else are you guys struggling with? Abby, did that help?
I had to walk away.
Well, I
Sorry.
was mostly just recapping there at the end.
Okay.
It was just about planning out your day before you go to bed. Make a list in your phone. This is what I must get done. I'm committing to getting this done tomorrow. And then you just wake up and do it. Have any of you guys downloaded the Think Up app and done your affirmations? Okay, you may have missed that meeting. Or no, I did that. I talked about that on a live video. There's an app called Think Up. Yes, just like Lindsay just typed it. It's called Think Up. I don't know if it's iOS only. I forgot to check that. Actually, Ashley, I can't see that, hun. It's like one big glare. I was pretty I can't see that. I think, yes, that's it. Yeah,
What color is the app?
it's orange.
The top one there?
Yeah. That's it.
Okay.
Okay, so you need to sit down and write down all of the negative thoughts that are coming into your head during a day. Okay? Ashley's like, crap, a whole day. All of this, the mind battle, whatever it is that you're hearing about, I can't, or you're not good enough, you don't have enough time, you don't have what it takes, you've already tried this and failed, you've been here for almost 6 years, you suck. All of this, you're never getting past here. Whatever it is that's coming into your mind as you're trying to do your day, write it down. Pull open the note app on your phone and write it down. Or piece of paper and a pen. Write it down. And then I really would like you to find a scriptural truth to battle that thought. Whatever scripture is that will speak to your heart about that thought, write it down. And then when you have your list, and your list is not going to be just about business, and it's not going to be just about life. It could be your weight loss. It could be your fitness. It could be just overall mental static, whatever it is. And it's going to change. It's not going to be the same thing forever. It's not going to be the same thing. You know, you may have some that come and go, like you feel like you conquered that one a week later. So change it up. But I want you to write out your scriptural affirmations that battle your specific negative thoughts. Does that make sense? Okay. And then I want you to record them in your Think Up app, and then you listen to it before you go to bed, and the app plays it in your voice. So as you're drifting off to sleep with your little earpiece in, your earbud, you're listening to yourself speak the truth of God's word over your heart. And when those are the last things you're hearing before you go to bed, I promise you, you're going to start waking up feeling different. If you're battling fear, you need to record your affirmations with verses regarding fear. If you feel like you don't have enough time, you need to remind yourself that God created time. He is neither early nor late. He is always exactly on time. If you don't feel like you're good enough or you're capable or whatever it is, find a truth. If you can't find an exact scripture, just find something that speaks to your heart about that. And then record it. Because we are capable of so much more than we perceive. And that gap between reality and perception is what's kept us here for this long. And I've been leading the pack. And for that, I apologize. But Rusty Lackey did an on point, on fire, live in one of these VIP groups. And he's going to be going live in our page in a couple of days. And it's probably going to be something along the same lines. But Rusty has been here with this company longer than anybody. He's been with Mark since the beginning. Rusty's been a distributor for 16 years. Yeah, like 16 years. And there have been highs and there have been lows and there have been struggles. And somebody who's been here for 16 years can speak to my heart. You know, as much as I hate it, I tend to bristle when somebody who's been here 8 months tells me how hard it was for them to get to ambassador. You know what I mean? I'm like, I don't want to hear your story. I don't want to hear that. Because you don't know struggle. It wasn't hard for you. You may have worked hard, but you didn't struggle. And so for Rusty Lackey to speak to this, he talks about how your battle, this pain, God is using to create a foundation to take you to your next level. Every single one of you, if you were already a diamond, you wouldn't have been ready for it. You wouldn't have held on to it because we are all different than we were 2 years ago. The fact that you're still here speaks to your maturity and your grit. And you need to give yourself some kudos for that. Because others have left when it got hard, when they were already making far more than we were. And they tucked tail and ran when it got tough. Okay? So to that I can say, like, I know you're loyal. I will never, I mean, I've always known you guys were friends, but I will never doubt your loyalty to this company because you're still here through the famine, if that makes sense. Okay, but we're done with famine. That season is over. We are a customer signing, distributor signing machine, and Mark is about to have to sit up and take notice of Team Nova. We are a new creation. The Lord is about to do something very, very new. And I feel that holy anticipatory fire, like in my soul, like something is coming. My paycheck was not this low this month for no good reason. God's about to do something huge and we're about to have a big, big story. So, crap has had us up against the ropes and we've been like ducking punches and taking gut punches just to survive. And now it's time that we come out swinging. All right. So you have to figure out what your level of massive action can look like. Ashley's level of massive action is not going to look the same as Jacinda's level of massive action and Abby's level of massive action. None of us are going to look the same. And quite honestly, if any of you beats me in the level of massive action, I'm not doing enough. Okay. So it's game on right now. And we're about to go run for this, and we're going to run hard. So cool story from over the weekend. I had to drive to Dallas to go meet a PDT. And that's super fun. You guys are going to love her. I can't wait to get her officially in the system so we can welcome her. And she's so neat, but she's going to fit right in. I was frustrated and I began to pray, but I realized very quickly I was praying from a position of panic, and I was praying out of frustration, and I wasn't praising, and I wasn't thanking him for what he's doing. And I remembered a song. The line from the song was, I used to listen to this song when I was a little girl, and it's Southern gospel because that's all I listened to growing up, that and country. Didn't even know anything else existed. But this song, this one line could cause me to jump up on the bed and just cheer because it got me so excited about what God can do. And the line says, along about midnight, Paul began to pray and Silas started to sing. And I don't even know what's next. It's something, and the gates flew open wide and God said, you've been called out. And so I had this line in my head, and I've had it for years. I love this song, y'all. And I haven't been able to find this song for years. I'll look for it every couple of months, try to find it on Spotify. I'll be Googling it, and I can't find it. Can't find it. I've tried for years and I can't find it. And so I'm driving to Dallas, and I intentionally turned my attitude from an attitude of prayer out of frustration and prayer out of praise. And I began to pray and praise. And then the song came to mind, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to praise with some jams. Reached down, turned on my music, and I was like, I'm feeling some old Southern gospel. Let's see what I can find. And so I open up Spotify and I do a quick voice search, and I find my favorite group from when I was a kid, and then look over and, okay, click an album that I didn't recognize, clicked a song that I thought sounded familiar. And so I'm the words are coming back to me, which is really weird because I haven't listened to it in a bazillion years. And then all of a sudden, the song is about being called out and how he calls us by name, and it's not who you are or what you can do. It's your name. And so that in itself, I started to tear up a little bit because of all of this that I've been learning. And all of a sudden I'm singing this second verse, and it's my song. It's the song that I've been looking for years. And it's about being called out. And it's about when everything is so desperate. And as I'm singing this song, I feel like he was telling me, it's been midnight and you guys have chosen to pray and rejoice and to keep going. You've been called out and it's time. That's what he gave me on the way to Dallas. And it just completely rocked my world. And I promise you, when you pray and ask for him to give you something, he's going to give you something. And so many times he uses music for me because that's my spirit animal. But anyway, I'm just so excited. I've got this on the edge of my seat excitement that better get me up out of bed at 5 a.m. in the morning, or I'm going to have to buy, you know what? Fine. 5 a.m. I will post in the team page by 5:10 because I have to wet my contacts a little bit before I can see. I will post on our team page before 5:10. It may just be some letters, but I'll post. Or I will buy each of you a pack of coffee. and this is being recorded, okay, I will post in the team page by 5:10, or I will buy every one of you a pack of coffee. God is in the details, Mandy. You are absolutely right. So 5:10, I will post, or before 5:10, I will post. Okay, so excited. I want you guys to take some time. We still have 15 minutes before 10, so we're going to get off a little bit early. I want you to sit and I want you to pray, and I would love for you to do that spirit designation exercise before you go to bed. But if you're not feeling that tonight, at least do some positive affirmations. If you can't get them into the app tonight, at least read them out loud to yourself before you go to bed, so you hear something positive before you sleep. Okay? Go ahead.
I think I missed that part. What do you mean the app?
Oh, you had walked away for that. There's an app called Think Up.
Okay.
Okay? And it is a recording app for positive affirmations. And whatever your greatest negative thoughts are that you hear all the time regarding business or life or family, whatever it is that you hear constantly, I want you to find some scriptural truth or something from the word. It doesn't have to be necessarily a quote, but it can be a scriptural truth. And I want you to record that in the app and then listen to it every night before you go to bed. So you have that positive coming in to battle the negative that we have such a hard time during the day. And then because it's a recording in the app and it's not something you have to just read all the time, you're able to listen to it when you're driving and when you're struggling, and you're able to listen to it when you're rocking your baby to sleep or whatever. It makes it available to you to use. So does anybody else have any questions? Okay, so I know this wasn't necessarily business training tonight, but more and more I feel led to try to minister to your heart and where you are, and not just this is the steps to success and this is how you do it. I think while that is all important, you guys deserve far and away more than that. So our goal this week is 1 customer and 1 distributor each. Okay? No making that face, Abby Harder. I saw you. 1 customer and 1 distributor each. I'm going to be going for it. Will you guys commit to go for that? Okay. Hopefully that number is not overwhelming. Okay, Abby's like, fine. Awesome, Mandy. I know you can do it. You took a huge step out of your comfort zone today, and I know you can do it. We are going to have to be intentional with conversations. And I'm speaking to the choir here, or speaking to myself, because I'm so much more intentional with distributor conversations than I am with customer conversations. But 1 customer and 1 distributor this week before the end of Saturday night. All right, I'm pushing to double that, but I mean, this is my full-time job, so I ought to be able to pull that out of a hat, right? So let's get these enrollments up. I am praying for you guys. If there's a prayer request that you would like me to pray for that you don't want to just blast here or on the wall, be sure to private message me and know that those are being lifted up. I love you guys. Anybody have anything else to say? Virtual high five. Okay. I love you guys. And I can't wait to hear what your spirit designations are. Because that's going to be a really, really awesome thing for you to know. It's like salve to an aching soul. It felt so good. I love you guys. Go be amazing. Tomorrow is going to be epic. Abby, have a plan before you go to bed, and you're going to rock tomorrow like you never even dreamed you could. All right? I love you people so much. You just don't even know. Oh, Ashley, your comment last night on Brian's thing with the smile, he died. It was hilarious. It was so fabulous. I'm like, she's such a smart. Anyway, I love you. I'm finally stopping.